So this practicing the presence is more than 15 minutes of meditation or 20 minutes of meditation. That's wonderful. But it's a willingness to become present every time you notice you're a little bit afraid. It's the willingness to become present every time you notice that you're someplace else that's not here. I'm amazed sometimes when we are watching television and Judith will say, "What did she just say?" It's interesting because I was watching the movie, but I wasn't present. Where was I? Well, you see, that last word took me someplace else for a minute, and I lost the next 3 lines. And I realized, wow, even when I'm doing what I like to do sometimes, I'm not present. So this practicing the presence is a really, really important and difficult thing if you think about what's going on inside of you. In fact, most of us, most of our lives are sort of a random process with a great storyline. So why are you going there? I don't. Well, yes, I do know. Come to think of it, I do. Yes. What are you going to do over here? Well, I'll make something up. And we make up a story that's so good that it's not noticeable to us that we haven't been present. Notice your story. Notice how much you say to yourself to avoid having to be responsible for right now and what's going on right now. It's not as easy as we think it is. I think it's easier when you notice in particular now, with all of the media information about why we should be afraid, to notice how easily you become afraid. It's especially noticeable when CNN has this continuous, "We'll be right back with more horror," with more things to scare you. You think it's bad now, and the examples are continuous. When O.J. just got sentenced, right up until he got sentenced, everything I heard on every station said, he'll probably be in jail for a lifetime, a life sentence. They added up all the charges, figured he'd never be released, and said, this is what we have. When he finally got sentenced, it was 9 years before he's available for probation. 9 years wasn't going to be very much, not for media. We need a lifetime threat here. So if there's a storm coming, it could be the storm of all storms. It isn't. And when it does happen, if it's a storm of all storms, enjoy the last moments you have a piece of cheesecake, do something wonderful for yourself, crawl into bed with your lover. Have a good time. If it's over, it's over. But for God's sake, don't spend all of your time watching it. It's getting closer. Whew. What do you want to do? I want to watch it get closer. It's really close now. Wow, it could happen any time. The apocalypse was something I got to watch. What did you do? I waited for an entire year for it to fully unfold. I watched every minute of it. And then what happened? Well, you see, I died about a year ago. You see, because when I started waiting for the apocalypse, I began to become the apocalyptic thinking that I was afraid was going to happen. How many of us are involved in apocalyptic thinking without even noticing it? 1 million people are unemployed. Am I one of them? No, but I've got to worry. It won't help you. It just will not help. So your responsibility for your life to work as well as you would like it to be, is for you to say to yourself in that quiet place, it's time now for me to be present in the moment. And so I want to take us there for a couple minutes, if Jan will accompany me with some music. We're going to go into that quiet place. You can use a couple of minutes of non-fear conversation. So be still. And what we're going to do today is we're going to come home. We're going to come home to that place in spirit, that place in mind, that place in consciousness. Where good, where love, where light, where joy abounds. Where there are no limitations. Where there are no fears. Where the true knowing is that who we are is God in action. That God in us, working through us, expressing that divine light and joy, touches everything with love. I recognize the mystery of my life. I recognize how much I don't know and how much inner knowing awakens within me as I choose to explore life's amazing mystery. I recognize now, as I go deeper into my own consciousness, that all of the answers, all of the places that I wish to go, all of the things I wish to see, are inner journeys. How I see a tree is how I have known a tree from within myself. When I smell the fragrance of a flower, I find the fragrance of life that has always been, that is ever present, that lives in my consciousness. As I move deeper and deeper into the experience of life, I find there are no limitations. There's nothing that can keep me from my good. There's nothing that can undo me. I am due all the good I claim. I am due all the love I choose to express. And as I give myself away to this very moment, I am illumined, I am awakened, I am cared for, I am centered. I am all that I've hoped to be. I am all of this and so much more. So I am willing now to step up to the very edge of life, places I haven't been, and claim my life. I'm willing now to see that a problem I might have had even moments ago pales in the light of love, disappears, is absorbed, simply vanishes in the face of the consciousness that I express right now, that divine love, that divine good, that divine beauty. That is who I am. That is what I claim. That is what is now. And if so it is, and we say together, and so it is.